Hey guys, Ash here with another Raid Shadow Legends champion guide, this time on a champion which I am sure each and every one of you guys has your hands on or will be getting your hands on, shortly as part of the Adeline Chase. This is Chronicler Adeline, a new free legendary inside the game. Not only do we have the regular progression here, 14 days, where you can get a 2-star perfect soul for your Adeline as well, but there is a phase 2 here. And if you go down to the information at the time of this recording, sorry for those of you who are looking this up years in the future and this is already over, but you can earn a maximum of 75 chase points per day. Excess points you earn will not be kept, but you guys can see how those points scale up here. You can get them in campaign, dungeons, faction wars, arena, and clan boss, and eventually you can work your way all the way up to a 5-star split soul on Chronicler Adeline. So I'm not super high on this champion, but this video is not going to be about why I don't like her. I think she's the least compelling out of every single free legendary they've ever given us in the game, and that includes Alexander the Sharpshooter. At least he, has a very clear, defined, and rather versatile role, as a decreased defense champion, right? And a damage dealer. Whereas Chronicler Adeline, I feel like she's much more niche. She's good in Sand Devil progression, right? And we're going to show that in today's video. She's decent in Dragon or anywhere you're going to be basically transferring debuffs on the A1. And she's good in Faction Wars and just general progression areas. She can also be serviceable in Iron Twins because of her decreased speed. So she's not total trash, but it's hard for a lot of players, or for me to a lot of players, justify fully maxing out and fully skill toming her out, booking her out as well. What I would do with Chronicler Adeline, before we jump to the guide, I'm just going to splice in the guide that I just posted on my main channel, because I think it was a pretty robust one, right? It's going to be a lot of rapid fire info coming at you guys over the next 8 minutes. But before we jump into that, I would compel you guys to try her out. If you're going to invest in her, try her out before booking her, before grinding out the masteries. Just get a feel of where you could be using her, right? Provided you have those extra cooldowns and whatnot, and then make the decision, because I think she will be maybe underwhelming to some of you guys out there, but maybe if you do need that Sand Devil, that Iron Twins, or that progression healer, maybe you can get you some utility out of this champion. She's not absolute trash, but she's not super good, and she is rather niche. With that said, let's go ahead and jump into the guide. So Chronicler Adeline, or Adolin, as you can see, is a Bannerlord Force Affinity support champion. She looks really freaking cool. I love the floating book. I love the braid that starts like way over here and then goes all the way down in the back. It's a pretty cool aesthetic on her. I like the color scheme, the whole 9. Now, the reviews in-game are not very high on her, and again, I do feel the same, very underwhelming, but that doesn't mean that there's no players out there that can get utility out of her. Obviously, there is a lot of players out there who can use Adeline, even if you're not fully booking her, even if you are not fully leveling her up. Even at level 50, she can be helpful in Dragon, in Sand Devil, and in Faction Wars, as well as some kind of wave content, Doom Tower, etc. So on her A1 attacks one enemy, we have a 75% chance at transferring a random debuff from this champion to the target, helpful in Dragon with those poisons. Also a 75% chance of stealing a random buff from the target on the A2 healing script. This is a restore max HP, particularly useful in the Sand Devil, and a heal 25% of this champion's max HP on a 3-turn cooldown. That's a pretty decent heal. A Writ of Sleep on the A3 ability. It's a 3-turn cooldown when booked. You should book her if you want to use her for Sand Devil as a sleep and debuffer and a progression champion to help support your team. Otherwise, meh, but you guys can make that decision. We have a 100% chance of placing a sleep on the target for 1 turn, also a decreased speed, a decreased attack, and it will ignore any block debuffs. Again, that's a 3-turn cooldown when booked at 100% land rate. And then Perceive Weakness, or passive, deals 3% more damage all allies to targets for each debuff placed on them by this champion. She's of course replacing the 3 debuffs on her A3 ability, so you can get that additional 9% damage when they're all on the target. Her aura is accuracy in all battles, which can obviously be useful everywhere in the game. Very helpful. All battle auras also work in Cursed City, which can be nice and handy for Cursed City restrictive content. Her base stats are okay. Her speed is is about average, maybe slightly above at 105. Her survivability is decent, almost 20k HP and 1250 on the defense. Her attack is 1000. She only has one damage dealing ability, though, on her A1, albeit with high multipliers at a 5.5. In terms of her various ratings in the game, this is how hellhades.com ranks her. They give her an overall grading, by the way, of a 3, which is, you know, pretty good. I would give her a little bit lower personally, maybe around a 2, unfortunately, but she can have her utility in areas like Sand Devil, as we discussed, like Spider, Dragon, support areas of the game. You could even use her if you wanted to in Iron Twins, because she does have that decreased speed. So I'm going to give you guys 3 options for your masteries for Chronicler Adolin. Number 1 is just an overall high accuracy build for being a main debuffer with that A3 ability right here. The second mastery build is similar, as we prioritize the accuracy at the end, but we forego all those healing masteries on the support side of things in exchange for the turn meter fill of Arcane Celerity and the accuracy masteries. And here's a third option for a little bit of damage. We went down, we picked up War Master on the left-hand side. We also picked up some of the accuracy and the healing masteries on the support tree, and we ended at Master Hexer to extend the duration of her debuffs on that A3 ability, plus a little bit of Spirit Haste. For blessings, hellhades.com recommends Polymorph for the arena, Temporal Chains, generally speaking, as a debuffer, and as an aura lead with Intimidating Presence, but I would add to that list, considering, especially if you're using her in Sand Devil, Miracle Heal, where you can kind of double down on that HP restoration out of her A2 ability. So stat priorities for Chronicler Adolin are going to be accuracy, speed, and HP percentage. Accuracy to land the debuffs, speed because we want her going as fast as possible as a support champion, and of course HP because her heal is based on her HP and we just generally want survivability. So guys, I'm about to give you a bunch of set recommendations for building Chronicler Adolin. However, today we have her in a shield and in an accuracy set. That could easily be a bolster and a perception set as well. We do have HP percentage on the gauntlets, HP percentage on the chest, and speed on the boots, along with accuracy on her banner, with more survivability, HP and or defense on the amulet and on the ring. The best 4-piece sets for Chronicler Adolin are going to be Curing, which will give you a bonus heal, plus a bonus heal restores destroyed HP, again double dipping on that heal on the A2. We already spoke about Shield and Bolster to get more utility out of her since we're already scaling up her HP anyway, and you can consider Relentless Gear or Guardian Gear as well to take up and soak up more of the damage from your team. That's going to mitigate 10% of allied damage taken. For 2-piece sets, we can consider Defiant, which will mitigate AoE damage, especially helpful for Sand Devil. Obviously, Perception, accuracy, and speed sets are all going to be great on your Chronicler Adolin. Let's take her into a Sand Devil and a Dragon run as a support role, guys. But first, these are the stats that we're going to be working with in today's video. Here we are in Dragon 20, using her as the only legendary on the support, with a couple starting champions, a couple poison damage dealers, and her basically going in there and, again, transferring those poisons back to the Dragon with the A1 ability and keeping everybody alive with those heals. Plus, the debuffs are going to be handy no matter which boss we're talking about inside the game. Decreased speed is one of the best debuffs out there in the game, especially useful in areas like Fire Knight and Sand Devil, in Iron Twins, and in Ice Golem. Let's go come back to you guys when we get to the Dragon. All right, guys, here we go against the Dragon right now. Things are looking pretty good. You can see we just transferred that weaken from Chronicler to the Dragon himself, which is very, very handy. Moreover, we're doing a great job of keeping everybody alive as we apply all those juicy or deadly poisons. And so overall, with that War Master, we have 349,000 damage, 158k in the heals, and, well, some nice damage from our poison damage dealers as well. In Sand Devil progression, I don't mind even running a Muckstalker alongside of her so we can have 2 sleeps to rely on, but you can see how effective she can be here with that A3 ability, placing the decreased attack, placing the decreased speed, and placing the sleep so everybody else can place their debuffs on the actual Sand Devil. Then she can come back in again and heal and restore all that destroyed HP, making her a great option for both heals, support, survivability, and debuffs, and enabling debuffs on the actual Sand Devil. So guys, as we wrap on this run and this video, hopefully you like the kind of abbreviated guide. I'm not sure we made it under 5 or 6 minutes, but pretty close, I guess, right? She's not the best champion out there in the game. She could be good for progression, especially if you're lacking someone to sleep and to heal and restore HP, which is equally as important, obviously, during the end, especially of the Sand Devil stages in progression. If you can use a skill set like that, sure, she might be the right champion for you. Overall, I can't help up. But to be honest, at the end of this video, I am very underwhelmed by this free legendary champion. But at the end of the day, she is free, and I'm sure some people can use the skill set that we outlined in today's video. Let me know what you think of Chronicler Adolin in the comments below, and be on the lookout for a longer, more robust guide on my Raid Shadow Legends Champion Guides YouTube channel. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.